So this video is on body awareness in your daily life. So this is kind of a bridge between your formal meditation practice and just unconsciously living. So it's nice to have a formal practice like the sitting meditation. You can do that, of course, standing, walking, lying down as well. We usually recommend sitting. And what you're not doing in formal meditation is anything else that takes any kind of thought or effort. The reason is you're concentrating on the practice. It's a dedicated practice, we would call that. If you're on EFC, this is actually part of your commitment. So you're not, walking to work or doing the washing up. However, in those other activities that are relatively simple, you may find that you have enough spare attention to practice some body awareness. You can actually practice any of the techniques we do, the metta, the body scanning, the mindfulness of breath, the four elements meditation, the classic techniques we'll teach you on EFC. Any of these techniques can be done while doing the washing up, for example, while walking a familiar route. Be careful you don't walk into traffic. While doing something simple, maybe some simple chores, gardening, brushing your teeth. It's very difficult to do the techniques when you're, say, emailing or in a complex phone call. You can think of this as a scale of complexity. So sitting, standing, lying down would be the easiest. Maybe even lying down, sitting would be the easiest, then standing, then simply like a formal walking meditation where you're moving or doing some yoga that you're very familiar with. It's very simple and not challenging. So not physically challenging, not emotionally challenging. And then some sort of task like washing up, the gardening, brushing your teeth, and then into social activity. Then it gets much harder. As soon as you involve the verbal, the supercognitive, the complex, at this point, if you can apply even basic body awareness, sometimes that's great. And that's where those five bells a day, the interruptions come in, is they remind us to be present. When you have those bells, really sink into the experience. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Spend a good 30 seconds, which can be longer than you think if you're kind of running around. Stop. Experience the body fully, and then you may do a centering technique or any kind of altering technique, but don't rush to do that. I really want you to have those islands throughout the day of experiencing your life. It's actually a critical success factor, I would say, on EFC. What we found in the first years is people could do a dedicated practice like their meditation or their martial art or dance or whatever, and it would stay very isolated in the rest of their life. And I've definitely seen that in quite long-term practitioners, actually. So having these five bells really helps you bring awareness to yourself during the complexity of life. And the midpoint is those simple tasks. So when you do your morning review, so this is where you look ahead at the day and you spend a moment or two looking at your diary or just thinking about it. So literally be done in 2 minutes. Going, okay, so what am I doing today? So I'm going to be walking home after I'm filming. That might be a time when I could bring some mindfulness. And the key thing here, of course, is always safety. One way of bringing mindfulness, like for example, if you're driving, would be to everything relevant to that task. So you might not want to do mindfulness of belly breathing too much when you're driving, minimal 10, maximum maybe 10% of your concentration. But what you could do is bring it to all the visual sense. So noting see, hear, feel, see. So mostly that would be wise in a driving situation. And again, if it's a sort of easier route that you know well, it's not complex, yeah? A, because it's harder to do it when it's complex, and B, because it could become unsafe. So be wise in those choices. And this is where we start applying the mindfulness, particularly the body mindfulness. And socially, I'll do another video on that, but that could be like a metta practice socially, or just the body practice again. So I'll do a separate video on the social practice because it gets a bit harder. But have a think, what are the easy tasks for you that you do in a day? You know, whether it's cleaning, washing, you know, when I towel myself or dry myself, I make an effort to be feeling my skin. I can have a very sensual quality. When I'm washing in the bath, I'll kind of massage myself with soap, and I try to stay present to those sensations rather than sort of drifting away to what I'm doing later that, you know, evening or whatever. So there's lots of opportunities in the day where we have simple activities we can bring mindfulness to. Eating would be another one, another classic one to bring mindfulness to if you're on your own, particularly when you're not chatting, just really paying attention to the food. Yeah. So these are classic sort of Buddhist ways to bring mindfulness in and to make a bridge between the formal practice where you can really focus, you can really get into it on a fine level, and you do need that. And then the alarm bells that interrupt you in the more complex things you're doing in the day, and these simple tasks that you might want to start bringing that mindfulness to. I'd say it's very difficult to bring mindfulness sort of all day, every day. That might be too high a bar to aim for. But as an EFC student, like, increase it. Increase the amount of time you're present to your body over this course. If you're coming in with a solid mindfulness practice already, you can really focus on other areas that maybe you've been, you know, areas where you're not mindful to, or advanced areas like, I don't know, watching TV. That's pretty difficult. You know, even I'm in the cinema now, and I can feel my emotional responses much more than I used to when I'm in the cinema. I'm still watching the movie. If you're a beginner practitioner, start with those simple things. So there, mindfulness in daily life. Don't beat yourself up over it, and see if you can increase that gradually throughout the course. And please, please, please do take those alarm bells seriously throughout the course. Really focus in on your body. Allow yourself not just to focus at the body, but as the body while those happen.